Hello, dear friends. There are two types of people who will tell you that you can do anything important in this world. Those who are afraid and try, and those who are afraid you will succeed. Ray, go forth. Opinion piece. Sequence starting before July 4th. Seizure of power. Blackout operation. Infrastructure is ready. They told you to look at you. Geopolitical shift and global power. Let's start. Non-standard US government continuity protocols were activated on the morning of June 11th, according to a senior Pentagon official. Axios 4B received confirmation from two sources still inside. This is not a drill but a transfer. They are not reacting to events. They are executing a sequence, and you are seeing it happen in real time. A social media post highlights several major events planned before July 4th, suggesting they signify a transformative shift toward the new system, and urging awareness to the changes underway. Stop following your gut feeling and look beyond what you can smell, says Proletario. There are people trying to convince you that nothing is happening. There are people out there trying to deceive you into believing that nothing is going to change. There are people trying to undermine all these advances. Do you realize that all of this is happening before July 4th? The Iran deal, the Clarity Act, SpaceX IPO, the Paramount Warner deal, and the celebration of the US bicentennial. Translation: new banking system, new geopolitical alliance, new international order, new citizens initiative, and the new space frontier. Preparations. CERN will cease operations on June 29th. Assets are being relocated to secure facilities built between 2017 and 19. The infrastructure is ready. What's happening now was planned before most of these people assumed their current positions. It was planned before they took office. An FBI operation seized $8 billion in cryptocurrency last week. Do you know what they called it? Blackout operation. That's not the name you give to a fraud case. That's the name you give to a transition. 127,000 bitcoins were confiscated. 300 arrests were made across 3 continents. The accounts they emptied didn't belong to random fraudsters. They were funding channels, the same channels that have kept setting people in power for 30 years. The money has run out. The information is being transferred. The wars are ending, and the machine is shutting down. According to Axios 4B, the time frame is 23 days. Everything that needs to happen will happen within that time frame. You were told to watch. You are watching. Science. The Pentagon was evacuated on June 11th. They said it was a false alarm. A hazardous material sensor was triggered on several floors, housing intelligence files, leading to hours of lockdown, but no danger was found. You don't evacuate the Pentagon for a sensor malfunction. You evacuate when something is being moved out. On the same day, the end of the war with Iran was declared, a war that lasted 100 days. It ended with a phone call, signed over the weekend. The military-industrial complex was taken by surprise. No one in Congress was informed. No committee approved it. One man decided it. That same day, Jay Clayton was nominated to head U.S. intelligence services. He is not a general or a spy. He is a former Wall Street thug, A man who knows where the money went. 3 events in one day. That's not a coincidence, that's a sequence. Reset News. The dark side is orchestrating the third global party to maintain control through chaos, according to General Flynn. As of Thursday, June 11th, all checkpoints for access to the new system backed by gold and other assets, along with the EBS, were activated according to Judy Pinkton. Major media outlets around the world will be cut off, while the newer Starlink satellite system connects us to quantum systems, energy-free and gold-backed currencies in the global financial system. The Starlink satellite system will provide free internet to everyone in the world. 7 messages in 22 different languages will be sent to mobile phones worldwide to explain what is happening. The election of new governments will be triggered within 120 days. Videos of truth will be played for 10 days through quantum systems. False flag attempts may be carried out to alter the narrative. The structure that previously controlled your identity is dissolving, and a sovereign wealth is emerging in its place. France withdraws its 129 tons of gold from the Federal Reserve. India 104 tons. Germany emergency repatriation. And China is buying record amounts of gold every month. This transition is not just about resetting the currency. It restores sovereignty. Your name is not a corporation. Your identity is not collateral. Your value never belonged to them. Liquidation. Guardian Daniel discusses the pre-oligarchic liquidation, the principle of first strike dominance, and the takeover of strategic infrastructure. The answer is no to the central question of whether the coalition could launch an operation of this historic magnitude in 2017, with the beginning of information leaks and the presidential transition in the White House, while the dark side still maintained its destructive power. If the doctrine of strategic deterrence and unconventional warfare, an open offensive phase in the cognitive arena, is never initiated if the adversary still maintains unchecked operational control at the kinetic and financial levels. Such an approach would have been strategically suicidal. The opening of the civilian stage in 2017 is irrefutable proof that the first shadow strike has already been executed and that absolute control of a critical infrastructure has been secured. The coalition did not launch the operation in 2017 from a position of weakness, but from a position of absolute strategic dominance that had been secured in the shadows. The information leaks were the cognitive artillery used to guide humanity through the eye of the needle of awakening. While the physical apparatus of the dark side had already been dismantled, the entire timeline since 2017 was not an unpredictable struggle but a systematic execution of a mathematically precise script. The switches for change were positioned to be locked. The covert push prior the overt phase was not the beginning of the operation, but the result of decades of covert preparation within the intelligence agencies and by a faction of sovereignist generals. The field was cleared before 2017 through a covert alliance of superpowers, the neutralization of blackmail potential, and the appropriation of an intelligence agency's server architecture. A structural function from 2017 and 22. If the coalition had possessed operational and technological control, why did the ideological cycle of information leaks and the ensuing civil theater take place. This is because the operation was not intended to be a classic coup. An open and sudden operation facing an unprepared civilian population would have triggered mass panic, conditions of civil war, and collapse of confidence in any institutional order. The years from 2017 onward served to eliminate the conditioning of the masses and to achieve the moral self-destruction of the enemy. The coalition held the reins of power behind the scenes with an iron fist, while orchestrating the elite's legacy of the invisible stage, forcing them to completely liquidate themselves in the eyes of humanity through their own sanctioned madness. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.